Once again, I'm going to read another narrative, and it's titled, Be Who You Want to Be. So yes, very many times we are skeptical as to our desires and what we want to become or be. And our environment, our negative thought processes sometimes stall us or impede the process. So let's read and see what's in here for us. There might be something that isn't right, and you desperately want that to change. There might be issues that you're struggling with: depression, an addiction, a negative body image, or an unhappy relationship. Sometimes you resolve to change these things. Unfortunately, you give up before even trying. Why? Because you lose hope. You think of all the times you've set goals for yourself but failed to achieve them. There are voices inside your head that remind you of your setbacks. I've also been in similar situations. Nevertheless, I started believing that I could change what I wanted to if I tried. A friend of mine named Matthew taught me this important lesson. Matthew was one of the persons who excelled in everything. He was one of the most gifted persons I had known. When he was in high school, his life began to change. Every time he wanted to do something, a thought would pop up in his head. What if I fail? This thought made him give up even before trying. Sounds familiar? These thoughts began occurring frequently. As he battled his negative thoughts, he began losing his self-confidence and sinking into a depression. The worst part was that those thoughts didn't just stop there. They gave birth to other thoughts. You can never do it. He's much better than you. Forget it, you're not capable. It came to a point where he was afraid to get out of his house. He began staying locked up in his room. As a result, he lost numerous opportunities that came his way. However, Matthew didn't want to give up so easily. He wanted to overcome those thoughts. With the support of his family, he began seeking professional help. The advice his therapist gave him was to think a counter thought. So if a thought came up like, "You can never do it," he would say, "Of course, I can. I've done so much before." Another thought would then pop up saying, "He's more talented than you." To which he would reply, "I'm different and I will work." "What if you fail?" He would reply, "What if I succeed? What if this is the opportunity that I've been looking for?" He started being aware of his thoughts. He started responding to those destructive ones. Gradually, there was a shift in his thoughts and feelings. Negative thoughts didn't control him anymore. He controlled them. Within a year, Matthew regained his self-confidence. Today, Matthew is in one of the best universities in his country on a full scholarship. Like I mentioned earlier, many of us have experiences like Matthew. We've been told that we are not good enough. We've been told that we can never accomplish our dreams. The problem is, we just don't listen to those lies. We also believe in them. When we start believing those lies, we start imagining ourselves as failures. And what we've been told by people, the lies they've told us, turns into reality. Just because we believe in the lies. In short, we have faith in the lies? What if we believed the truth? The truth about ourselves, not what people say, but who we truly are. Now you may say, what if I really am what people have said about me? Fortunately, we can never be what people say of you. You can only be who you choose to be and what you choose to believe about yourself. Sometimes you have opportunities knocking at your door. You've overjoyed about them. But again, you hear those familiar voices. You don't have to blame the people who've said that to you. Perhaps they were told the same things when they were young. What you need is to focus on your innate gifts and talents. You've hidden them for so long. You're shy. You're afraid. You're not confident. This way, you may never recognize or use your gifts. They will be hidden within you forever. Isn't that terrible? If you only knew your true potential and what you could achieve using it, you wouldn't just sit around and do nothing. Neither would you blame others for your failures, nor stop their opinions about you from chasing your dreams. Like Matthew, you could choose to be a fighter or a quitter. You could get up and get going. Only you can overpower the negativity that surrounds you. You can allow people and situations to control your future, or you can give yourself that power. Think about it. If Matthew had never wanted change, he would still be struggling. He would never be where he is now. If you want to change, start now. Start with yourself. When you do so, everything around you will change for the best.
Amazing, amazing.
This little girl has truly written some wonderful stories.
No, I think, she gets under the skin of a young person.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, this is not limited to only one who is a teen or young.
No.
I mean, we adults also get here very many times, and we give up for the fear. I see a lot of people in the corporates, 30, 35 plus, there may be incidences that occurred, whilst they were at work, and people have the knack of affecting you. And they lose confidence, even when they're 30 plus, 40 plus. I've seen this myself. So it's not just limited to teens.
No, I think it also starts maybe a little earlier than that.
Of course.
And then it sort of blows up into a full-blown depression or a full-blown anxiety that I'll never be able to do this. So don't even try.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
And you see, that's the beginning of a strain of unproductivity that turns into a vicious cycle afterwards.
Yes. Also, again, I would say parents are responsible at times for not being vigilant enough to be able to understand what your child is going through. It is very important because, as I said, it's a competitive world. Both parents have to work to meet, ends, etc., and give your child the best. So in the process, what happens is that we become negligent, not because we want to. So my take would be that, parents have to become even more observant of what the child is going through. These kinds of negativities could set not because of the home, it could set in because of your peers, it could set in because of your tutors at school. Like I have this 11-year-old that I'm working with, and because of what the teacher did at one point in time, fears developed within him.
And then you have the mind playing tricks on you.
Yes.
It's like the questions put here, you presume you'll not be able to do it.
Yes.
And then the quote of the teacher who has belittled you or who has scared you keeps running in your mind like a mantra.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like a negative learning process.
Yes.
Which turns into a conviction afterwards.
You said it, a conviction. You start believing in what others have said about you. Yeah.
And that's what you said when parents, parents have got to be sensitive to this.
Yes.
They can see it coming on, stop it there.
Yes, absolutely. Your personality develops by your surroundings.
Like you said again, sometimes these negative influences come from peers.
Yes.
And then you come home and the parent sees you. That's when the parents should tackle it.
Yes, absolutely.
Tackle it in as much as, you've got to be there, that caring safety net into which this youngster can fall.
It's the duty of a parent.
Yeah.
At least until the child turns 18 years of age.
Sort of.
You give them that guidance.
Yeah.
The motivation is so important, yes.
I think all the youngsters listening to this are praying their parents see that.
It's not blaming parents.
No, it's not.
Let me tell you that, because as the book also says, that, they are people whom maybe their peers and their parents may have done some damage to them. And then you don't realize, the realization is not dawned, and you may be carrying that.
Nothing is done in bad will.
Nothing. You want the best for your child, but how you mete out that guidance is very important.